Hello, Steve here with It's About Belief. I'd like to present you with an idea right now that you may not have ever heard of in regard to the law of attraction, but it is, I promise you, the most powerful idea that you've ever heard. And if you can get your head around it, then it's likely that everything in your life will change. Now, I'm going to just lay it out right now what this idea is, or what this maybe realization is in regard to the law of attraction, and quite frankly, anything and everything. Okay, here it is. And that, by the way, I've written out 6 different categories of things that I'd like to present during this video. So it's going to be a little longer than my normal ones, but you will find it, I hope, enthralling, if at the very least, life-changing at the maximum. And that's what we want. We're always looking for something better. Okay, so here it is. And it's not going to sound life-changing until you understand the whole concept of what I'm talking about. Here's the title: Belief and Personal Ideas Control. And when I say control, I mean they control everything. Your personal belief, your personal idea of whatever it is that you're thinking controls your life experience. So that means, and I'm going to say this again in a way that I've said it before, you live on your own vibrational planet. And thank you, Bashar and Daryl Anka, for that. But if we look deeper and deeper and deeper, and we realize, okay, if that's true, then that means our own personal ideas about what things are and our beliefs about how things should be will control everything. I mean, it's mind-boggling if you stop and really think about this. So whatever it is you believe will show up in front of you as your life experience. And as soon as you change that belief, you have to change it completely. You can't sort of change it, because then it'll sort of change and you won't recognize the change. But as soon as you change that belief completely, or just drop it, then you will see a corresponding change reflected back to you. And as fast as you change will be as fast as it will be reflected back to you in that screen of space. Now, it's actually not really even reflected back, because if everything is within us and everything out there is just a reflection of the inner ourselves, thank you, Neville Goddard, and so that means that it can't reflect back because it's not out there to reflect. It's in here. Are you following me? So it's not a reflection so much, and I'm going to continue it as a reflection. I'm going to continue to call it that because it looks like it. It's part of the illusion, so, let's go with it. But it's not a reflection. It's just what is. It's just what it is. It's just, okay, you have become this, so that's what you're going to see. Now that means that nothing out there, quote unquote out there, again, has any bearing on your personal experience. By the way, I'm also noticing that my lighting in here is not real great. And that is because I am pre-framing some things to to change some things, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So I'm digging some ditches, as Florence Scovel Shinn puts it. Dig your ditches. In other words, make your stand as to what it is you want. Okay, but aside, or rather lighting aside. So back to the subject here, which is your beliefs and ideas control everything. So now what do? You notice the things that you see or you're experiencing in your life, and you say, yes, I like that. No, I don't like that. So, okay, so now the beliefs come in to your question mark. You say, okay, if I don't like that, what is it that I must believe that will show up this way? And now you notice that, and that's awareness, and that is a key thing, which is actually the next thing on my list. It says awareness is key. Acceptance of everything that you see out there as yours. All right, so, but awareness. So you've noticed that, okay, there's things you like, there's things you don't like. Now, the things you don't like, you want to change them. Simple as that. So how do you do that? Well, there's two ways. There's one, you look at that belief and you say to yourself, what is it that I must believe that would cause this reflection? Now you've become aware of it and you've owned it, because you can't change anything that you don't own. If you own it, it's yours, and you can do anything you want with it. But if you push it away and say, no, that's not mine, then you have no power. You can't exercise your willpower over that, because you said it's not mine. But if you say it is mine, okay, now you can fix it, change it, control it, whatever you want to do with it, because you own it, it's yours. So once you've seen it, you're aware of it, then you've claimed control of it. You've decided, okay, it must be mine, because, hey, you just told me that everything I believe and every idea I have is reflected back to me, and then it's only my planet, and nothing is out there. It's all in here, so it has to be me. Let's get to the responsibility part, and that's going to be number 3. But I want to talk more about number 2. So now you own this belief. You said, what do I have to believe is true? And then you can dig in and find out what that is. And that is one way. And once you identify what that belief is, then you're 80 to 90, maybe 100% there in solving the problem. Because you said, oh, there's that belief. That's the work right there. That's it. It's not fixing it, because all you have to do now is look at it and say, oh, I don't like that. It's fixed. That's it. So the responsibility of claiming the idea or the belief is where the work is. And now the second way is to just say, oh, I don't like that, and just change the idea. Change the belief without having to dig in and do all the questioning. Sometimes one works and sometimes one doesn't. So I try it the easy way first, or the quick way, which is, oh, I don't like that. I'm just going to change the idea about it. And like I said, if it doesn't work, then I find that I have to dig deeper and say, okay, what's the belief? What do I have to do? What's going on here? I pull up the belief. There's the belief. Oh, I don't, that doesn't make any sense to me. It's not serving me. I don't want to do that. So then now you've 80, 90% there, you drop that, and then you keep, you keep watching, you keep being aware of what's showing up, because if you haven't corrected the belief, then you maybe have to dig in a little deeper. Maybe you just said, I want to change the idea, but that reflection persists. Now it's going to persist a little bit no matter what. So if you say you change the idea, you change the belief, and it continues to show up for a while. Don't freak out, That's part of the continuing mechanism that keeps the illusion alive for us. So it's momentum of some sort that helps us maintain the illusion, helps us keep us here. Now, we don't really want that, but we need to be aware that that's happening, so we don't, this isn't working, I must be doing something wrong and all that nonsense. No, just chill out and watch it. So, and then if after a while it still persists, then there's some more work that needs to be done. But the whole point of this video really is to say there's very little work to be done, but there's a lot of awareness that you have to do, okay? The work is not necessary, but the awareness is. All right, number 3 was responsibility. So let's break that down. I'm going to point to Bashar for helping with this one. Responsibility. So what we want to do is refine through our vibrational output and our frequency response, our ability to control that and get better at it. So responsibility is not taking the responsibility of this thing and, being guilty and all that nonsense. No, it's just our, noticing what it is and then looking at it and say, okay, what can be my ability to respond to this situation in a better way? And when I say better, I mean in a higher frequency way. Like, okay, let's not get all guilty about it or judgmental and say, this is not working or any of that. Just, chill out, relax, and love it. And know that it's all good, and know that everything's going to be working out for you, no matter what happens, no matter what it looks like out there. You just relax and respond as if everything is going to work out. Now, it probably will no matter what, but how much suffering do you want to do in the meantime? I'm going to say, probably not that much. So just do it now. Just say, okay, I'm going to relax and just say, yeah, this is what I was expecting. And then when you let go of it all and you take the responsibility and you chill out and you don't work on it and you just focus on your ability to get to your higher frequency, no matter what happens out there, you're going to maintain your high frequency, then you'll move through these things very quickly, what we would call negative things. Okay, now the number 4 is called the power of the paradox. So the paradox, from our perspective, is kind of what I've been talking about this whole time. It's the belief that we have to work on it, or the belief that things that are really big take more effort than the things that are really small. And I'll probably tell a few little anecdotal stories about some big things that I manifest easily and regularly, and then the little things that come as well, and then maybe sometimes some of the things that are in the middle that I believe, personally, I'm talking about me, that I believe take more effort and energy. Why? Because of number 1, belief and ideas control everything. And if we can just learn to let go of all those beliefs and ideas, and really it's letting go of the resistance. It's not anything else. It's just let go of the resistance. And that's, when we do that, then we raise our frequencies. All right, so the paradox, what is it more precisely? It is For example, there's something that you want, and then you keep working on it, and then you notice that it's not there. And you said, yeah, but I've asked for it. And the universe has given it, but you can't see it. And the universe has already given it to you. It's there. It's already created. And it has to, because there's no time. You asked for it. You created it right here. It reflects, or it's actually already in you as that idea manifested already. Boom, there it is. But you can't see it because you're not focused there. Your frequency is not equal to that or higher than that which it is you asked for and you already got. And it's there, but you just can't see it. It's like you lost your fountain pen and you look everywhere for it. And you look in the drawer where you normally keep it. You look in your pocket. You look in your purse. You look in the car. And it's nowhere to be found. And as soon as you stop looking for it, oh, there it is. It was on my desk the whole time. You couldn't see it. Why? Because it was in a different universe. It was at a different frequency level completely. You were not even in the universe where the pen was. And then when you stopped looking for it, you changed your frequency to the point where that pen could reemerge back into your universe, and then now you can see it. So the paradox is, if you want it, you can't have it. That's pretty much it. So how do you circumvent, rather, is a better word, the paradox? Okay, you don't care. You just get to the point where you just don't care. And no matter what, whether you care or not, when you work on it hard and long enough, you get to the point where you just don't care anymore because it's not coming anyway. So again, how much do you want to suffer before you get to that idea? So why don't we just do it now? Yeah, just say, oh, I don't really care if I get this or not. It's created in your mind's eye. Have as much fun with it as you want to right here. And the really cool thing about that is, I notice that when I do that in here, say it's a car, for example, I'm running around, I'd like to get this particular car. And I'm thinking, all right, I don't have it yet. Oh, I just noticed I don't have it. So it's not coming. I can't have it because I noticed I'm not in the same universe as the car or the pen. So there's no possible way it can show up for me. But if I just whimsically say, oh, I'd like to have that car, and not offer any resistance. And the resistance in this case, of course, would be, what do I have to do to get it? Wrong question. How's it going to come? Wrong question. How am I going to pay for it? Wrong question. None of that matters. It just doesn't matter. Why? Because if you're asking those questions, then we're back to number one again. This is my list. I just wrote it out. Nothing fancy. You're back to number one again. What do you believe is possible? What are your ideas about what is possible? And again, it's personal ideas, because if you look around, you will see that other people have drastically different ideas and beliefs about what is possible. Now, in their world, it's working for them. Now, you're looking over there at them and you're saying, how is that possible? But it is possible because they believe it, period. That's it. There's nothing else to it. And it's not possible for you because you don't believe it, period. That's it. So the power of the paradox is about just letting go of the resistance, and noticing that if you're noticing that it's not there, then you've noticed that you're in a different frequency and different vibration and different universe than the thing that you want is. Now, thank you, Abraham Hicks, for that. And they always say, well, you can't get there from where you are. And what they're saying is what I just said. You can't get to the pin in your universe if you're looking for it because it's not there. And that means you cannot ever find it because it's not in the same universe where you exist. That's pretty much it. That's it, you know. So how do you get to that universe where it is? I told you, you don't really care if you get it. And that's the paradox. But I want it. Yeah, but you can't have it if you want it. But you can experience it in here, in your imagination, as something that's fantastic. So I do this every morning before I get out of bed. I wake up and I start creating and imagining. And so this is where all this is coming from, because of this morning, I was thinking, okay, I do not want to remember yesterday. I want to start brand new today, because not everything went great yesterday or the day before or 10 years ago or 5 years ago. And there's some beliefs and stuff that I've been carrying forward that I'd like to just get rid of. So I'm going to start fresh and new right now. Can I do that? Do I believe I can do that? Yes. Then I can do that. Do I have an idea that I can do that? Yes. Beliefs and ideas control everything. So yes, I can do that. So now I am imagining all these fantastic things. I mean, fantastic. And am I saying, how am I going to get it? No, it's not important, because I don't care if I get it. My purpose is to imagine them. I'm laying in the bed. I am here in there to imagine and create a feeling of that experience, you know. So I put together this whole thing, you know, the house, the car, the jet, the golf cart, you know, that I'm driving back and forth between the house and the jet, and the boat and the lake, and, you know, whatever, and traveling and all these things, and the money and the net worth and all that. And so am I trying to figure out how to get it? No, that's not what I'm there for. I'm only there to watch the motion picture. I'm just there to watch the show. What show? The show that I just created in my mind. So that's the quickest and easy way to get around the paradox. Now, when you get out of bed, you don't want to start planning your day thinking, oh, I need to do this and that and the other thing about that. So what you want to do is, now you want to just ask the question, or things that are presented in front of you are a choice. You have a choice to make. And you decide, do I want to do this, or do I want to do that? Do I have to do this, or do I have to do that? And so if there are things that you want to do, those would be labeled the things that would be the most excitement or the most passionate. And the things that you don't want to do would, of course, be the things that would, you know, be non-passionate things, the things that you have to do or think you have to do. Now, I'm living my days differently than I have in the past. So those things that I have to do, I don't, and I feel like that I have to do them, I don't do them when I feel like I have to do them. I just don't do them because I'm going at it in the wrong frequency. And so that means that I need to find the things that I would like to do now. And so I'll do those things no matter what it is, how simple it is. It could be going downstairs and making a cup of Earl Grey tea. That's it. You know, that's going to be the most exciting thing for me to do in this moment. Is it calling and getting insurance on a property? No, maybe not. compared to that or that, I'll go get the tea. So most of the time. Now, sometimes I've already got my tea. I've already got these other things. And I said, I feel like calling the insurance company and doing that. And see, because it's really, really critical to approach everything that we do with an attitude of appreciation and enthusiasm and grace and adventure and fun. We don't want to do it out of resentment. And this brings us really to the whole point. Because if I'm doing something over here that is slightly more fun and passionate than this other thing over there, then now my frequency is higher. Just like that. So what is the universe going to do? It's going to bring me more things that are on this side of my equation. Now, obviously, I've said, okay, over here things are great. Over here things, I don't necessarily want to do. So I want my frequency to be over here. And so by doing that, I say, okay, out of this list of things I have to do, then I want to make sure that I maintain my frequency. So this morning I went downstairs and did what I did. I didn't make any tea. I made some other stuff, because that's what I wanted at the time. And so my frequency is high. I want to do that. So actually a few minutes later, I actually got on the phone and did the insurance thing. And these are real life things. So I started going down that path where, okay, here we go. It's like this question and that, and I get handed off to that person and that person. I'm starting to lose it. and starting to lose my frequency. And I called it and I said, okay, I got to stop. I said, all right, take a deep breath, chill out. It's going to be okay. And so, and so it ended up on a positive note, thank goodness. And have I finished that? No, there's another step, but it'll work out. And there's the attitude. Everything's always going to work out for me. Say that. Say it inside. Say it quietly. Say it out loud. Say it however you want to. But everything's always working out for me. And carry that attitude and that frequency with you all day long. And now, as you move through your day and you're focused over here on these higher frequency activities and ideas and imagination, thoughts and beliefs, then now your set point is here. The universe starts delivering you more and more of these things over here. And so over here, if you have a list of things that you think you have to do to make money, and they're a drudgery, you have to do them, then if it were me, I wouldn't do them. It's like, I don't know, and I'd still focus over here knowing that my belief is over here. And I'd say, okay, I need to change this belief and this idea and just focus over here and have trust and faith that the universe will, at a frequency, if I maintain my frequency higher, the universe will deliver me what I want. There's the challenge. Most of us cannot let go long enough to test the theory. And that is letting go of your resistance. You see how all this is kind of circling back. So letting go of your resistance is trusting in the universe to have your back. And you don't believe that the universe has your back. But the universe is much more powerful than you and I are. I cannot control gravity. I cannot control the rotation of the earth. I cannot control the revolution of the earth around the sun. But the higher frequency of myself can do these things. You'll have to adjust your belief and ideas, perhaps, around that idea. And so, but the higher you is you. So if it is you, then can't you trust that you will take care of the little you here? So we're right now, and I say this is when somebody's trying to, a minor player in my business is trying to control the bigger players. And I call that the tail is trying to wag the dog. That's not really going to work. And we are in this scenario, we're the tail. And we're trying to wag the dog. And that's not going to work. Now, what we can do is we can offer our frequency and our vibration, our ideas and our new beliefs out there with our images of what we created, while you're laying in bed for, an extra 15 minutes or so in the morning. And that we can do. And that is our job. And frankly, that's our only job. Well, that and observing and being aware, by the way, awareness was number 2. So being aware of what shows up and saying, oh, I like that. This is our job. This is it. It sounds too easy, but that's another belief and another idea. It is that easy. So that brings me to the final number 6. Which is no effort. And I've mentioned it before. There is no effort involved. Now, if there's any effort involved at all, and I have found that there is, but the only reason that there's effort involved is because I have beliefs and ideas that I have to take the effort to get rid of, adjust, tune, frequency, vibrational output. That's where the effort is. Manifestation is no effort. We're doing that constantly all the time. We're at our maximum ability to manifest at every single moment of every single day. Because look out there. We're doing it. This is our creation. We're creating our own reality. We're manifesting it to the max. And the only thing we need to do, though, is release the resistance around the beliefs and the ideas, noticing that the paradox is that we need to trust in our higher vibrational versions of ourselves, that we're the tail trying to wag the dog, and that our only job is to come up with the new ideas to fuel the universe's ability to expand with those new ideas. So that's our job. And then to be aware of those ideas showing up within our manifestational frequencies as soon as we can raise ourselves to that. And then that automatically reports back to the Creator those new ideas, and then it continues like that. So what I just went through, by the way, was number 1, beliefs and personal ideas control everything. Number 2, awareness is key. Acceptance of what you see with your awareness will cause you to examine your beliefs and ideas. And upon examining those beliefs, you'll find things that you do like and you don't like. And the ones you don't like, you may want to correct, and you can correct them one of 2 ways. 1, you can dig into the belief, notice it, 80% of the job is done, fix the belief, change it, say it doesn't work for me anymore. And number 2 is just change the idea around that belief and see if that will work. And that's the quickest way. If it does, great, just move on. Number 3, responsibility is your ability to respond. Really what I'm talking about here is no matter what shows up, just maintain a high frequency. Just maintain your ability to stay unfazed, and your frequency is still in appreciation and love and gratitude. Number 4, the power of the paradox. So the power of the paradox is, hey, I know if I want it, I can't have it. So let's just go with that. Let's use that power, that new knowledge that we have, and say, okay, let's just imagine it, let it go, let go of our resistance, and go about our day and have fun. And then while we're going about our day, we're going to pick the best thing that we can do in terms of our passion. So it's not about manifesting. We're manifesting everything now. That's number 5. So it's not about improving our manifesting ability, getting better at manifesting. We're doing that to the max. It's about releasing the resistance around the beliefs and the ideas that control everything. And number 6, there's no effort. So I'm going to finish up here with a no effort story. And it seems like the things that I think about very whimsically, and it doesn't matter if it's really big, quote unquote, in our viewpoint, from our perspective, because everything is equally frequency and vibration and equally easily created. Okay, equally, doesn't matter what it is. So it could be this pen I keep bringing up. That's a manifestation, and or it could be a castle or a mansion or a yacht, 250-foot mega yacht. Same effort to create this or your 250-foot mega yacht ship. So what do you do to do that? Well, you look at your beliefs and ideas and you say, do I actually believe there's no effort involved? And probably the answer is going to be no. Why? Because you have decades and decades, depending on your age. With me, it's plenty of decades of beliefs and ideas that are in here that I'm going to have to change. I'm going to try to do it quickly. Can't do them all quickly. I'm going to sort them out. So that's the process. But every now and then I'll find something that, I don't care about, it doesn't matter that much to me. And I'll think about it and it'll just show up like a coffee maker. I wanted one of these Keurig coffee makers. So, I thought about it for a while and then I forgot about it. And then one showed up and then now I've got 5, it's like, where the hell these things come from? And it's crazy how that happens. As soon as you get it, then you don't want it anymore, paradox, and they start coming. Why? Because you're already lined up with it. You already see it in your vibration, so more come. So that's the purpose of lying in bed and creating this visual up here. If you've got it here, then you will get it out there, as long as you let go of the resistance. So now, the other thing that I've mentioned a number of times, there's plenty of other ones, but these seem really big to me on the outside. And people will look at me and they'll look at me in total disbelief. And by the way, I've done this with health issues. I've done it with certain money issues. I've done it with the weather and traffic. And that's what I want to talk about, weather and traffic. Weather and traffic would seem to be out of one's control, wouldn't they? I mean, nature and traffic, I'm out of control. I can't control traffic. Well, is that a belief and an idea? Yes. It says right there, number 1, belief and ideas, your personal belief and ideas control everything. So, okay. Then I believe I can control the weather and the traffic. And so a while back, the wife was asking me, hey, I need Wednesday it says on the weather report tomorrow, Wednesday, it's going to be raining. She said, I really would like it to be clear. I said, okay. And then, so Wednesday, I did my thing. And so Wednesday shows up and it's clear. And she said, and then Thursday showed up and it was rainy. And she said, hey, it's rainy today. And I said, well, what's today? She said, well, it's Thursday. I said, well, you asked for Wednesday. I didn't do anything for Thursday. And she said, oh yeah. Okay. So obviously I have a pretty solid belief and an idea that I can control the weather. And when I do that, it works out 90% of the time, 95% of the time, the way that I imagine it. And do I look to see if there's anything to do and all that? No. What would I do, I just do the imagination. I can't go out and start adjusting the controls for weather. There are none. But they are. There are controls. They just don't happen to be out there. They're right here, in here. Same with the traffic. Atlanta is kind of known for a lot of traffic. But 95% of the time, I'm not in traffic. Why? Well, 95% of the time, I've created my visual for the traffic. And, 5% of the time, I'm not really too concerned about it. And I'm not thinking about the trip even. If I'm not thinking about the trip, then anything can happen. And so Jerry and Esther Hicks said Abraham told them that segment intending was a critical thing. So if you're walking into a new segment, it's important to pre-frame that segment with your thoughts about how it's going to go. And up to the point of where, that segment might be ending. So in my case, with traffic, it is going from point A to point B. So point B obviously is the end of the traffic situation. So I've arrived at my destination. And so here's what I do. I just create the visual of my arriving at that destination at the exact right time that I need to be there. Now, there may be an appointment around that. And sometimes I'll say, okay, I want to be there 5 or 10 minutes before the appointment, or I want to be there at the exact right time. Now, sometimes I'll end up at the appointment 10 minutes later, but invariably it's the exact right time. Now, if I don't do that, segment intending, then the chances of me being maybe caught in traffic or not getting where I want to go at the time I expected to be there, increase significantly. So now, those are the 6 points that I wanted to make. Now it's up to you to decide if any of this is valid for you and if you should, take what I've said to heart. Maybe you question whether you want to be a doer or just a listener. If you want to be a doer, believe me, that doesn't necessarily mean, getting to work physically out there in the world. Why? Because there's nothing out there. For one thing, it's all in here. So you might as well, do the work in here. And then, so the work, when I say doer, means, do you want to look at your beliefs and ideas? Do you want to, become aware of what's showing up in front of you? You are aware of it anyway, and you're either liking it or not. Do you want to take responsibility? Do you want to own these things that show up in front of you? Do you believe in the power of the paradox? Do you believe in understanding that you're already manifesting at your full manifesting abilities? And 5, do you believe there's actually no effort in all of this, except for, what I just went through? The effort is doing what I just said. So that is my presentation for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I do consulting. Click the link below if you would like to experience that. I've got it on sale for $48 or $49 for half an hour. Believe me, you can't see the forest for your own trees. And I will tell people stuff that is totally obvious to me, but they don't know it. They can't see it. You know, they've created this massive illness that they're going to be dead from in 6 months. And I know exactly why they've done it. And I tell them, and now it's up to them. It's their choice of whether or not they want to change their beliefs and ideas about that or not. It may be, you know, their only way that they believe they can escape what they're seeing in front of us. But take this as the last thing. There's no escape. You will come back. You'll be manifested again and again with this same issue until you take the responsibility of claiming that issue as your own and fixing it. So you might as well, you know, do it now. Hey, peace and live fearlessly.